Say.
First of all, what an honor to get to our USA Basketball is such a great organization, and it's so impressive how they run it and how they handle it, but then the quality of athletes we got to work with and the coaches that I got to be around and pick their brains, and then just the international experience of competition. That it's so neat, and to have USA on the front of your jersey and represent the country. And when we broke it down, there hasn't been that many, because it's an every other year tournament. So you're talking about 15 teams maybe, with less than 200 people that are kids that have ever got to play for that gold medal that we got to play for. So it was a big deal, and we made it a big deal, and to those kids it's a lifelong memory, because we really connected as a group, and we averaged like 25 assists a game, which is phenomenal. And we had games 32 assists and I think 34 maybe once, and in a 40-minute game, that's amazing. So the way they played together, how hard they played, the competitive nature they had, it was great to be around them. But it was it was a lot of work for us, and we took it really serious because we really wanted to win and represent the right way, and I think we did that.
I know you've kind of obviously built Boise State into a national brand program, but just to be around the quality of athletes and coaches and have your name and the Boise State logo associated with something like that, what does this mean to you and for this program?
It's huge, because anytime you can expand I'm trying to grow as a coach every year, and this is the guys I was around in Houston, all those great coaches were there, and we spent a ton of time in a room together talking basketball and talking philosophies and all the stuff that was pouring out of all the knowledge that these guys have, and so it expands you and it makes you grow, and I think a thing like this, it really does that. And so that's what I was so excited about, and that's what I got out of it. So that was really neat. And then not to mention just the friendships and the connections that you get through, we got to play Brazil, and I've coached some Brazilian kids that these guys had coached. And so you just get to meet new coaches from around the world that do great jobs, and you learn stuff from them too by watching their team, by getting, picking their brains. And so there was just so many things that I got out of it, and so many great relationships that I'm looking forward to continue to have.
When you coach on the international stage and get to meet all these new people and these new connections, how do you see that benefiting and helping in recruiting over the next couple of years?
Recruiting always starts with the relationships. You look at a lot of the kids we've got here over the years. Freshman of the year, we go back a long ways with a lot of the relationships that Tyson had, and every one that you end up getting, you've had relationships with a lot of the people that know them and that are tight with them, and they trust you because of it. And you want to, most coaches and families want to send a player somewhere where they trust the people, and if you don't have an advocate in a recruiting situation, you probably don't get the kid. And so the more people and the more people that get to know about your program, the better it is. And having the Bronco logo out there as much as we can in the international stuff is really neat.
Where are you keeping your gold medal?
I haven't figured that out yet, but it's pretty special to me because we worked hard for it, even though, from a distance it looked like, wow, they just overwhelmed. Yeah. But the kids worked hard. We worked hard selecting them because there were so many deserving. Out of 20, there were 27 guys in camp, and they all could have made the team. They were that good. And so, you were splitting hairs when you had to make the team. And so we worked hard at that, and then we worked hard at the prep. We respected the game. Our players respected it, and so it was a grind. And so it means a lot to us, and I hope to do something really good with it.
I know you've been a part of some of the committees and sat in on some of that and stuff at the Final Four, or I think for the draft one year with Chandler and stuff. I don't know if this is something you want to pursue, but just being more involved with USA basketball moving forward, is that something that's possible or you hope for? Or?
Yeah, I'd love to, just because it's just like I said, I like to challenge myself. I like to grow as a coach, and what better way to do it than the world's greatest organization and the greatest teams? It's USA basketball, and that's how we were treated in Mexico. The fans and and a lot of these guys that we had are future first round picks, and as soon as next year maybe with some of them. So yeah, it is a neat experience, and to be involved in the best team in the world is, and any part of that, USA basketball, to have any part of that is pretty special.
What can you bring back? I don't know if it's anything exactly you can point to, but in terms of how that experience will help Boise State or help you at Boise State, whether it be picking up schemes from other teams or just things that you heard in the huddle or just being around the higher quality of athletes, maybe just is there something that you think will benefit the program here?
I think it's all of the above, and like I said, the relationships probably. That's one of the best things that you end up doing. I mean, even the relationships like with the players that we got to coach, their parents, because they're around the game all the time, and then we'll be recruiting somebody from their area, and they'll reach out to a kid maybe and say, hey, yeah, that guy coached my son with USA basketball. I loved him, and that's how it works, and that's what's important. And so anytime you can get a chance to do that, especially with all those high level kids that we had, that great families, great character, and then like you said, all the coaches we were around, not just the ones we worked with, but the international guys, and it just it was just neat, and I think I did my best at soaking it all in. I never sat in my room. I was out and about and trying to meet people and do things and take it all in. And so it made for some really, really long days and good, but we were having a great time and enjoyed it.
And last one for me. I mean, you mentioned the gold medal, but I mean, has that kind of comprehended you yet? I mean, I know it's not like an Olympic gold medal, but I mean, to have a gold medal at a tournament like this, you got it, with the ceremony, and to have that at your house for the rest of your life, whatever. I mean, has it kind of sunk in how cool that is? Or
it did, and it did when the confetti was coming down. The way that FIBA celebrated it, it was really special, and the way we approached it was so special because we made it mean so much, because it does. It's like I said, less than 200 kids in the history of the United States have got to do that in that age group, and and then I grew up such a fan of international, like the Olympics, and then Coach Few and I are buddies with some pole vaulters, so we would go watch them at the Goodwill Games, and they, so I've always watched that kind of stuff, and I was like, God, if I ever got a chance to do it, that would be so great, and to be able to, and then when you see those guys stand up on the medal stand, you're like, wow, wouldn't that be special? And I got to do it. That was really neat.
How were you